Comrade President of this meeting, State Secretary and Central Committee Member Jason, and other members from the State Committee on the dais, and comrades and friends. Today is the red letter day in the history of World Communist Movement. On this day, 78 years back, our party, the Socialist Center of India, Communist, was founded in West Bengal, and it was founded by our beloved leader, teacher and guide, Comrade Ghosh, who is no more with us today. And the party is continuing, getting stronger day by day. So we have all gathered here, comrades, to observe the foundation anniversary of the party. So comrades, what is the background today in which this foundation anniversary is being observed? You are all watching what is happening in the world. In the world there is turmoil going on from country to country. No country is free from this turmoil. In all countries. And such kind of a turmoil is going on, tremors are going on, starting from the captain of the English camp, the United States of America. No country is free from economic and political crisis. And in the background, we find today there are clouds of war. War is already going on. You have seen after the war, Russian-led war on Ukraine, which is still going on. And today we find war launched by USA and Israel, the warmonger countries, on Iran, and again on Lebanon. The killings are going on, massacre is going on. We find what kind of a great turmoil is going on in the whole country, world, economically and politically, both. It is not only in Iran, in other countries also. America has the credit of launching wars on no less than 50 plus countries in the world. American economy is a militarized economy. Comrade Ghosh, our beloved leader, he taught that American economy is standing on militarization. Without militarization, American economy will collapse. They are producing arms and arms, and they have to sell the arms. And they do not sell the arms, they have to store them. And you cannot go on storing for long. So they have to use them. That is why our beloved leader from Ghosh told, peace is death for America. There cannot be peace, lasting peace in the world. America has to engineer wars. Either America will go for war on its own or will use its allies to go for war. Only war is there, they can breathe freely, their economy can breathe. Without war, it is death for America. And today whole world is not only USA, most of the countries, their economy is based on war economy, militarization of economy. That is the motto of all capitalist countries today. So comrade, this is one side of the picture. What is going on in the world? We have seen what happened to Palestine. Almost Palestine is wiped out on the map of the world. The way Israel, backed by America, has bombarded Palestine, butchered the people there. As for the reports, up to now, 77,000 people have been killed. This is the story of Palestine. It is almost being wiped out from the map of the world. And before that, we know what a war was launched on Iraq, then Afghanistan, all by the influence led by USA. And now they have kidnapped the president, elected president Maduro of Venezuela, along with his wife. They have been kidnapped and imprisoned in the America. This is what America has done, the so-called biggest democracy on earth. They have kidnapped the elected president and wife on a midnight operation. And now they have launched attack on Iran, because Iran will not go down easily to America like many other countries. They will not kneel down. They are challenging the hegemony of America, terrorism of America. America has become the biggest terrorist country in the world. They are terrorizing the entire world. So, comrades, why I am raising these issues today with the foundation of our party, SUCI Communist. It has given birth to a genius, a great Marxist thinker, Comrade Das Ghosh. He had viewed many of the things beforehand. He passed away in 1976, no doubt. But beforehand, he had viewed many things, particularly after the demise of Stalin, when Khrushchev came to power. In the 20th Congress of CPSU, when they thrashed out many theories, Comrade Das Ghosh branded them as revisionism, floodgate of revisionism. Well, all over the world, many countries, communist parties, they were hailing the 20th Congress as illumining the path. There was darkness. Now that is illuminated by the 20th Congress of CPSU. Comrade Das Ghosh was the lone voice who told it is not illuminating in the path. It is opening the floodgate of revisionism. Why again I am referring to this, comrades? Because at that time Khrushchev thrashed out all trash. He told there is no more possibility of war. And that was the thesis put forward by Lenin, the great Marxist thinker, continuer of Marx and Engels. From Lenin, he had told, imperialism inevitably generates wars. That's why this era was called as the era of imperialism, wars and Proletarian revolution. And for that, the guideline was given by great Lenin and great Stalin. He characterized Leninism as Marxism of era of imperialism, wars and Proletarian revolution. So, comrades, it was Lenin who told imperialism inevitably generates war. Why he told? Is it that we have faith in Lenin, so we have to believe? No. We have faith. More than that, Lenin gave the reasoning. Imperialism is out to capture market. They are surplus capital. They want market. If there is no market to invest, idle capital will ultimately swallow the country, destroy the country. That is why Lenin told, in search of market, for investment of capital and to rob the raw materials, cheap labor power, imperialism goes into other countries to capture other countries for the market. And in course of that is a competition. Among the imperialist power, there is competition. This competition for the squeezed market. Market is shrinking under capitalism, imperialism. Instead of expanding, market is shrinking. And to capture the greater part of the market, imperialism inevitably engenders wars. This was the thesis put forward by Comrade Lenin during his lifetime. That too particularly during First World War. And later on there was Second World War, we know it. And Khrushchev, in 1956, he told, now imperialism is getting cornered, socialism having upper hand, gaining upper hand, imperialism is getting cornered. That is why there is no more possibility of war. Not only that, he went one step ahead. And more than that, Khrushchev told, even socialism can be established peacefully. Violent overthrow of a state is not required. And still further advancing, Khrushchev told, socialism can be established even through the parliament. It was the lone voice from Siddharth Ghosh. That time countered everything. Comrade Siddharth Ghosh pointed out, yes, after the Second World War, there is a camp now, socialist camp. Imperialism is getting cornered too. Socialist camp has come into existence. But Comrade Siddharth Ghosh argued, the process is not yet concluded, completed. Imperialism is getting cornered does not mean imperialism is already cornered. It is not cornered. Socialism is growing. That does not mean socialism has ultimately gained upper hand. There is no qualitative break. Unless a qualitative break comes, imperialism is completely cornered and socialism has completely gained control over the world affairs. You cannot say that there is no more possibility of war. And more so, Comrade Siddharth Ghosh pointed out, peaceful transition to socialism is possible only in a remote future when capitalist encirclement is replaced with socialist encirclement. Very few capitalist countries are alike and they are encircled socialist countries. That time, the ruling capitalist men lay down arms, give up power, lay down power. There peacefully it may come. But through parliament bringing socialism is nonsense. Parliament is the instrument of bourgeois class rule, capitalist class rule. Comrade Siddharth Ghosh was very, very categorical. Even if there is peaceful transition to socialism in a remote future, even then it means peaceful dismantling of parliamentary system and peaceful establishment of Soviet system. You cannot say parliament can be transformed into an instrument of the working class rule. It is not Leninism. It is against Leninism. Comrade Siddharth Ghosh in 1956 fought all this trash of Khrushchev. He had pointed out, don't tell that war will not be there. Don't tell peaceful transition is possible. If you tell this way, Comrade Siddharth Ghosh warned, you are disarming the working class. You are disarming the working class of the world. World working class has to get prepared for a violent combat, very big combat, gigantic war against capital. For that war, everybody should be prepared mentally, spiritually, ethically, morally. But Khrushchev, by talking of peaceful transition, no more possibility of war, he has disarmed the working class. That was the teaching, great teaching of Comrade Siddharth Ghosh. Comrades, unfortunately, very unfortunately, though Siddharth Ghosh is right, unfortunately right, what he predicted came true. He only had one condition, if by chance, if through struggle, the Soviet revisionist leadership is overthrown and a genuine communist leadership will come, only in that condition it can be reversed. It did not take place. We know history today. It was not only Khrushchev, it may be Brezhnev, it may be Kosygin. Finally, it was Gorbachev who brought the blueprint of revisionism, blueprint of counter-revolution, perestroika and glasnost, 1985. And in the year 1990-91, counter-revolution is over. And today, comrades, after the counter-revolution is over, East European socialist countries finally in Soviet Union, and in China also there was counter-revolution. In the year 2003, most of the socialist countries have turned capitalist today. Very painful thing. And that time, there was jubilation in the imperialist countries. The imperialist camp, they started propagating, Marxism is dead, Marxism is gone, there is no future Marxism. That time, our beloved General Secretary, Comrade K Radhakrishna was alive. He told, if Marxism is dead and gone, day in and out, why are you telling it again and again? If Marxism is gone, let it go. What are you scared? Again you are scared. Daily you are talking Marxism is gone, meaning you are still scared of Marxism. That was the saying of our beloved General Secretary, Comrade K Radhakrishna was alive during those days. You know, comrades, whatever is happening in the global arena today, the attack on Palestine is almost gone, and the attack on Lebanon, the Middle East crisis, attack on Iraq, we know already what has happened, and now on Iran. But Iran is standing firm, and it's not just USA versus Iran. We should know, behind the curtain, there is a conflict with China. It is a for market. Whatever happened in Venezuela, it is a internal conflict going on between China and America for market, for supremacy. What is China? Even today, many parties in the world, they consider China to be socialist. There are many parties in the world. Our party, guided by thoughts of Comrade Shivdas Bose, we have concluded it is no more socialist. It is already a capitalist country, an imperialist country. They are capturing market after market. This is the condition of China. So, comrades, China is in a competition with USA. USA cannot stand competition with China. Very big fierce competition is going on. And Iraq, whether it is Iran or whether it is Libya. And now America is talking of axis of Iran, Iraq, then Cuba, North Korea. This Trump is raving mad. He is a madman. You cannot expect any sane person to sit in the seat of capitalist managers. Whosoever becomes the Prime Minister or President of any capitalist country today is going to be insane like Trump. Trump is the worst creature in the world today. There is no semblance of humanity in him. And that is Trump. He is a creation of decadent capitalism, dying capitalism. No humanity, no values, no ethics. And that man is in the leadership of USA, and where things are going on. So, comrades and friends, what I am trying to recall here, the way things are developing in the world, this is one side of the picture. Political economy, what is happening in the global level. The other side of the picture also we should see. It is not that only capitalists are having their last say. People are also coming out in the streets. Global level. You look towards Spain, you look to Italy, you look to England, you look to France, you look towards America. Bastion of imperialism. There also, millions of people are taking streets on one issue or the other. The American people, they have raised a slogan, no king, And that is attacking directly Trump. It is going on. Though it falls on deaf ears, that is another. But there are voices against Trump and the rulers of USA, from within USA. Same thing is going world over, even within Israel. There is opposition to Netanyahu. So also in all other bourgeois countries. We have found there is uproar, there is unrest. Millions are taken to the streets, fighting their own regimes, their policies. And this is on the side of the picture, the bright future. That also we are seeing. So comrades, I am only recalling the thoughts of our Shivdas Ghosh on this occasion. Foundation anniversary of our party is very essential because the history of this party is linked with the development of our Shivdas Ghosh. As a great Marxist thinker, whatever is happening in the world today is almost everything is according to his prediction. As prediction based on Marxism-Leninism, he had become embodiment of that science of Marxism-Leninism. At the same time, Comrade Shivdas Ghosh contributed something new to the treasures of Marxism-Leninism, its philosophy. Comrade, this is the part internationally, and coming to the nationally part, I think less said the better. We know what has happened to the policies of globalization, liberation, privatization. It is over now. Over a decade, 2 decades, this policy is being implemented. And when these policies were brought, a rosy picture was given of a very great future, that every last man in India will have very great future ahead. Fortune, employment, food, shelter, medicine, education, everything was assured with a globalized economy. What is the condition today? It is worse than what the condition was those days. Globalization, global integration of the entire economy. What has happened? They are inviting foreign capital into India, and Indian capital is going outside. It is for mutual benefit. It may be Ambani, it may be Adani, along with the multinational corporations of USA, England, France. They are combined to loot and plunder the entire world, its rich resources. Also, the working people, to exploit both raw material and working people. Entire world capital is united to rob everything. Of course, within that, there is conflict task. They cannot unite heartily together because the market is sinking. When the market is sinking, how it can satisfy the needs of all capitalists? It cannot. So capitalists are in contradiction among themselves. This is the objective truth. Today they will combine, tomorrow they will knife each other, they will kill each other. Combine today and kill each other tomorrow. This is the law of capitalism. Imperialists are always like that. Today they combine, tomorrow they knife each other. Same thing is going on. Whichever capitalist country today they may be combined, tomorrow they are at loggerheads. Yet there cannot be any such hearty emotional unity among the capitalists. So comrades, what I am trying to tell, now it is more than 2 decades that the policies of globalization have been brought in our country, and it is being practiced by most of the bourgeois parties and their governments, and even by the petty bourgeois party governments. Even they are practicing, like CPI, CPM. Wherever they are in power, they are also practicing all these policies. Because these are the policies of the class, the ruling class, capitalist class. That's why they are implementing this policy. Without the blessings of the class, they cannot remain in power. They are forced to bring those policies. or they must take principled stand and give up power, join the ranks of the people, lead movements. There is no third alternative. If really there is a communist party, genuine communist party, why should it stick to the power? We have not come for power. If at all we have come to power through election. If through election we are controlling a state, or we come to central government, real communist party, what will do? Will bring some reform, that is one thing. Another is, we will never take sides with the capitalists. We will not bend down to the pressure of the capitalists. We will reject the policies pro-capitalist, anti-people. We will bring anti-capitalist, pro-working class policies. For that, if power has to be sacrificed, the genuine communist party will never hesitate. Kick out the power, but stay with the masses. For the communist party, masses are important, not the ruling class. We are not to fall at the ruling class. We are to stay with the people. So, comrade, these are the teachings of Comrade Shivdas Ghosh. In 1967, 1969, when the United Front government was in power in Bengal, our party was part of it. Our central committee member, Comrade Subodh Banerjee, he became the Labour Minister. At that time, our party joined the government, saying only under one condition, that we should bring a law telling police shall not interfere into legitimate struggle of the working class. This promise was accepted by the CPM leaders, Bangla Congress leaders, all party leaders. But after coming to power, they did not implement it. It was then Comrade Shivdas Ghosh. He advised Comrade Subodh Banerjee, from your law ministry you bring the policy. Wherever there is strike of the working class, police shall not go there. Police have other business to do. Their job is not to enter into capitalist worker dispute. To resolve that dispute, there is Labour Department. Labour office is there. Labour tribunals are there. There is no job for the workers, police to go there. Actually, Comrade Subodh Banerjee enacted a law, and after the law was enacted, there was widespread Gherao movement all over Bengal. It was praised by the working people, but condemned by the capitalist class. Even the BBC condemned it. Even Tata, those days Tata was alive, he called it a jungle law, for which Comrade Shivdas was replied, if this is a jungle law, your law of exploitation is a greater jungle law. So, comrades, what I am telling is not just a question of pseudo-communist parties, petty bourgeois parties. Any party today, bourgeois party, if they come to power, if they defend the interest of capitalist class, capitalism, they are bound to become anti-people. That is why we have seen what has happened to the policies of globalization, and now we find how for the past 12 years the BJP is in power. Now it is NDA, it is not just BJP. NDA is in power for the past 12 years, and where they are taking the country to. And same policy of globalization, privatization, liberation, everything they are bringing. This is one side, because of which Ambanis and Adanis, they have amassed huge wealth. And today, Ambani or Adani has become number one richest person in Asia. So much of wealth, huge wealth is amassed. All the laws are brought in the interest of these capitalists. And you know, this Modi government, they enacted 4 labor codes in place of 29 labor laws. They have enacted 4 labor codes. And this will last February or before that, during November, they framed the rules also for implementation of the labor code. And through that, they are every time propagating labor codes are for the interest of workers. Labor code is meant to serve the interest of working people, toiling millions. This is propaganda. Propaganda machinery of the Modi government and the BJP. They are propagating. But what is happening? What is happening? A look at what happened a few days back in Noida, in Gurgaon, in Panesar, in Sonipet, in Bihar, Rajasthan, Haryana, UP. Massive pouring out of the workers. Lakhs and lakhs of workers that took to the streets. Why? What these labor codes have done? Have they protected the interest of workers? All rubbish, all falsehood. Capitalists cannot today stand on truth. They stand on falsehood. And Haryana, the government increased minimum wages to 20,000 rupees for the workers. That became a triggering point for Noida workers. Noida is in UP. 40,000 workers took to the streets. Massive outpouring in Noida. They started demanding wage revision. There is no wage revision for more than a decade. Not only that, there is no wage revision is one part. Apart from that, they have increased working hours from 8 hours to 12 hours. 12 hours they will work, but there is no payment. Why? Earlier, beyond 8 hours means there has to be overtime, OT payment, double the rate of regular salary. And now, they have increased it to 12 hours, but there is no OT payment. On one hand, there is no revision of pay. Pay revision is not there. On the other hand, number of working hours are increased. More than that, even trade union formation is difficult. Trade unions cannot go on strike. Everything is made so difficult. And working class is suffering. Everywhere there is price rise, inflation. And that too these days, due to the war, whatever cooking gas has to come, or petrol or oil has to come, there is prohibition on that, there is a stop on that, is not coming. Because of that, the rates have gone up. Petrol or oil or cooking gas, huge margin, is not even available in many hotels. Hotels are closing down or rates are jacking up. Condition have become very pathetic. Even eating food also, it is a worse condition. You can imagine very peaceful workers who are only earning their livelihood. 40,000 jump to the street. It is a spontaneous outburst. How people came to the street? How? Nobody has organized them. But our Yogi Adityanath ji, he is the Chief Minister of UP, and that man knows how workers came to the street. First reaction from Yogi was, it is Pakistan engineered. This is what our CM told. Very short time after that, he understood it is spreading like wildfire. He not only in Noida, even other parts of UP also is spreading. There is huge industrial sector in UP. It is spreading everywhere like wildfire. The entire National Capitalist Corridor, NCR, it has spread to Rajasthan, Bihar, everywhere, Delhi. Then Yogi understood, Yogi ji. So Yogi ji immediately announced few thousand rupees extra, very minimum, only to see that the workers will come down. He has made a mistake, not mistake. Cunningly they tried to paint Pakistan. Workers will not listen because their stomach will not accept. They are in dire begging condition. Working class condition is such. That is why he had to go down and give some increment, but it is not the end, comrades. This is the beginning. The outburst what has come, it is pointing to something. What is going on under the calm is the storm. There is a storm before calm. There is calm, so-called calm. This is not real calm. There is storm beneath. This is the condition of the working class today. So, comrades, wherever there is capitalism, why in India? India has come late, you can say. There was outburst in Sri Lanka. There was regime change in Bangladesh. There was regime change in Nepal. You find in every country, the working people are waiting on their toes to take to the streets. They will even give life because life has become unbearable. It is a big burden. It is very much comfortable for the capitalist, ruling class, not to the people, not to the working people. It is hell for the working people. This is the condition. Comrades, the lesson of the foundation of our party, Belward Party, it was foreseen by Comrade Das Ghosh in 1947. He foresaw that capitalism has no future. At that time, there were very few takers. Very few people accepted Comrade Das Ghosh. That time he was a nobody. Very big parties were there. Communist Party of India. It was undivided. RSP was there. Some other parties also were there. And they had recognition from USSR, then from China. But our party started with handful of people, with Comrade Das Ghosh, stood like rock on principle. Why? He found the CPI did not conduct a proper struggle to build up a communist party. There is the greatness of Comrade Das Ghosh. It is not just his intellect. Repeatedly, Comrade Das Ghosh emphasized on the role of culture. He was very much after culture. Whatever happened in Russia, I have seen. Comrade Das Ghosh, how there was a deviation. That is in the post-Lenin period. Comrade Das Ghosh found that there is deviation. Why this deviation is coming? And we all know, even a great thinker like Comrade Mao Zedong in China, Mao conducted revolution in 1949, October 1st, the revolution was concluded. But Mao was all through thinking and worried how to fight individualism. Probably in a talk with Edgar Snow, Mao is exchanging. Edgar Snow is telling to Mao, you should be happy. Lakhs of people are coming. They are chanting your name. You are almost like God. Why are you worried? Mao told, I am worried of the future. Individualism is affecting our party. Comrades, here is the genius of Comrade Das Ghosh. At an early age, in 1940, he recognized the defect of the CPI. At that time, nobody could understand. Because many of the leaders, they made sacrifices. They gave up everything. Even they gave up life and started building a communist party. They were honest people. Even Comrade Das Ghosh says, it may be M.N. Roy or it may be other leaders who came to build Communist Party of India, undivided. Comrade Das Ghosh says, they were honest, undoubtedly. They gave life even, but problem was connected with the correct process of building of a communist party. He repeatedly told, correct process of building up a communist party demands that those who come to build the party, they should conduct an ideological cultural struggle among themselves first. We should conduct struggle among ourselves. Why? He says, most of us, we are coming from petty bourgeois families. We carry petty bourgeois thought process. We carry petty bourgeois culture, individualism, ego, vanity, everything we carry. But it is opposed to proletarian culture. It was Marx who pointed out, culture is superstructure of the economic base. From there, Comrade Siddharth pointed out, individualism has come out of individual ownership or means of production. While culture of the working class is collective ownership, therefrom collectivism. That is why Comrade Siddharth pointed out, if to build up a communist party, we the leaders who have come first, we should give up everything, including individualism. How to give up individualism? That was shown by great Lenin, submission. I must submit myself without reservation, voluntary, happy, reservation, without reservation. I should submit myself. And there Comrade Siddharth was told, this submission it did not mean only economic, financial, political, no. Technical submission, no. He meant culturally. I submit my everything to the party. Give up everything. And again he told, giving up everything is not a sacrifice. He is so critical. What we have sacrificed? We have sacrificed our old, outdated life for a great life, noble life. And that is the communist life. If I believe communist life is most noble, great life, I have given up old life, which is rotten, bourgeois, petty bourgeois family life. Today, no family is happy. So much of individualism, clashes, ego clashes, quarrels, even killing for property. Everything is going on. These things happened even during Comrade Ghosh's time. That Comrade Ghosh pointed out, communist culture is the noblest culture today. Historically, it is not because Shivdas Ghosh is telling, not because Marx or Lenin told, no. Historically, era of private property is coming to an end. Private property created private property mind. There Comrade Shivdas was telling out, it is a private property mental complex. I may not have private property, but I may carry private property mental complex. I, mine, ego, my idea, my feeling, it has to be honored. That I is creating trouble. That came from private property in history. Before private property, it was not there. And communists, we are supposed to lead this society towards a communist society where there is no private property. Entire property belongs to the people, meaning to the community. All are working there, all are sharing everything. That can happen only if private property is eliminated. So comrades, that is how Comrade Siddharth Ghosh argued. Those of us who have come to build up a communist party, we should struggle within ourselves to fight out our private property mental complex. That culture of private property individualism, we should acquire collectivism. I should myself submit to the collective. There Comrade Siddharth Ghosh started the onward journey. He did not immediately give shape to the party. Through a convention, he laid the foundation for the party. Even the first party congress was not held. He wanted to bring this in practice through code of conduct. The first party congress was held later, much later, 1988, under the leadership of his comrade in arms, Niyar Mukherjee. Under his leadership, the first party congress was held. By that time, everywhere party is functioning on code of conduct, on precedence that is being practiced in the party. So comrades, Comrade Shivdas Ghosh has created a history in a very new way of formation of a party. And through that process, this party is built. What I am trying to tell all over the country today, what crisis we are seeing, and there is unity they are breaking. We know BJP is there in power. It's not only in our country, even in America. They are fanning up racialism, blacks and whites. In one country or the somewhere black and whites, in some other country Hindus and Muslims, in somewhere else something else. They keep on creating it. And here we are finding now the BJP government, Modi government, just now they have brought SIR. We are watching what is going on. Special intensive revision. And so-called special intensive revision is made by the Election Commission. And what is Election Commission? Earlier, Election Commissioner was appointed by a 3-member panel. Prime Minister, Leader of the Opposition, and the Supreme Court Chief Justice. Some time back, the Modi government removed the Supreme Court Chief Justice, included Cabinet Rank Minister. So, the Prime Minister and the Cabinet Rank Minister, 2 opposition leader, single. Majority is the BJP party, and they appointed the Election Commission. Everywhere same thing is happening. All the institutions, what we call democratic institutions, all democratic institutions in India, today under the control of RSS and BJP, they have become highly partial. They are doing favoritism to their ideology, to their organization. They take action against all enemies. How long we can stand here and shout, I don't know. If this kind of a rule prevails, if this goes on, how long they will permit us to stand here and criticize? This much is allowed today. Not huge demonstration. Even in Delhi place, space for demonstration is limited. Democracy restricted. It is fascism. It is not only in India, globally. It is fascist rule. Where is democracy? Democracy is gone. It is a time for proletarian revolution. World proletarian revolution. Anyway, what I am trying to tell, just now elections are going on. In Kerala, election was held, over. Bengal, one phase is over. Tamil Nadu, over. Puducherry, over. One more phase of election is pending in Bengal. Assam also over. Now, friends and comrades, we know what kind of a election it was. All political parties, including ours, we have protested. This SIR, in the name of SIR, they are eliminating a big number of voters who would not have voted for them. In Bengal, 91 lakh voters are eliminated. Now, is it only removal of voters? No. Ultimately, it is a deep conspiracy. Majority of those who vote are Muslims. Tomorrow, they will brand them as infiltrators. They have come from other countries. Rohingya Muslims. They are pushed away from Burma. They went to Bangladesh. From Bangladesh, they went to India. All these type of talks, theories are being floated. And this government is in power for the past 12 years. If infiltration is there, it is during your period. What are you doing? All through they charged Congress. That during Congress regime, infiltration took place. Now your government is in power for the past 12 years. Who allowed them infiltration? Infiltration. We can shout, but no action will be taken. Who will take action? Supreme Court, Election Commission, ED or CBI. No institution is today free. They have pocketed all institutions. But comrades, this is the dark picture, no doubt. Again I am telling you, there is bright picture also in India also. Not only in foreign countries. Here also protests are breaking out. Strikes are breaking out. How much ever the police may not permit. Restrictions are brought. Labor code they have brought. But workers will ultimately break them. Break the law. Come out. Go for the protest. Ultimately, there is going to be massive struggles. They will break out. This kind of operation could not stop Russian Revolution. This kind of operation could not stop Chinese revolution. That kind of operation could not stop Vietnam revolution. Vietnam was subjugated this very USA. But that also could not stop Vietnam revolution. Nor it could stop Cuban revolution. Nor Korean revolution. Ultimately, in the forces of progress and revolution, who will become victorious? So, comrades, on this occasion of observing our 78th anniversary of the founding of our party, Socialist Center of India Communist, I can only join with you in taking pledge that the future of this country and future of world revolution is connected with the thoughts of Comrade Das Ghosh. It is connected with the growth of this party. In Kerala also you have all seen what kind of movements are being led here, like that K Rail. It was a massive protest led by our party, and you have seen Asha movement. What a massive movement was taken up by the party all over Kerala. It was supported by all sections of the people. And very shamelessly, the so-called working class party, CPM, their government, did not yield to the demands. And it is for the working people to see what is their demand and what they gave. A pittance they gave. Same pittance what Yogi Adityanath gave. What is the difference between UP government and Kerala government? How much is the difference? I don't say no difference. Some basic difference is there. All settlement is a left party. But they are not bringing left policy. They are pursuing pro-capitalist policy. Of course, we are opposed to BJP. We will not allow BJP to come to power anywhere. We will all condemn BJP. But at the same time, if a left party in power brings anti-people policy, that also will fight. So, comrades, on this occasion of observing Foundation Day anniversary, I join with all of you to take this pledge that the future of the world revolution, future of Indian revolution is connected with the growth of this party and spreading the thoughts of Comrade Das Ghosh. I join with you with these words, appealing to you the appeal of our beloved General Secretary, Comrade K Ghosh, that all should take up responsibility to spread the thoughts of Comrade Das Ghosh. With these words, I conclude here. Long live anti-capitalist social revolution, long live Socialist Center of India Communists. Red salute, directly appropriate, Comrade Das Ghosh.